Ever wished you had your own digital assistant working for you 24/7, but figured you'd need to be some kind of coding genius to build one? Well, I'm here to tell you that's not the case at all. Today, we're going to build your very first chatbot. And the best part, we're going to do it for free in just a couple of minutes. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so here's the roadmap for today. First up, we'll get a handle on what a chatbot actually is. Then we'll break down the two main flavors they come in. After that, and this is the fun part, we're going to get hands-on and actually create our own bot from scratch. And to finish things off, we'll talk about how to give that bot a serious upgrade, an AI brain. Sound good? Let's go. All right, first things first, before we start building anything, we need to be on the same page. What exactly is a chatbot? You hear the term all the time, but let's break down what it really means and how these things actually work. At its core, a chatbot is just an automated helper. You can think of it like a program that businesses set up to answer common questions, things like, what are your hours, or how do I track my order? It's all about freeing up human agents to tackle the really tricky problems. It's basically your always-on, 24/7 assistant. And how it works is surprisingly simple. It really boils down to two steps. One, you, the user, ask a question, or maybe you just click a button. Two, the bot instantly figures out what you need and serves up the right answer. And hey, if it ever gets confused, a good bot knows when to say, let me get a human for you. It's all about that perfect mix of speed and automation. Okay, so now we know what a bot is, but when you decide to build one, you immediately hit a fork in the road. You have to make a choice. And this choice is really between two totally different approaches. One gives you a rigid script, the other a flexible brain. So on one hand, you've got what we call rigid bots. The big plus here, they're either free or super cheap, they're pretty simple to create, and you have complete total control over every single word it says. The catch? Well, they're not very smart, they can't handle anything you haven't planned for, and building that script can be a ton of work. Then you've got AI bots. These are the smart ones. They can automate all sorts of things, make the conversation feel personal, and just give a much better user experience. But they're always going to cost you some money, and you do need a little bit of skill to write the prompts that guide them. And this image right here, this is the perfect picture of what a rigid bot looks like, behind the scenes. It's literally a flowchart. Every single turn the conversation could possibly take has to be mapped out by hand. You have to think of every question a user might ask and write every single answer yourself. It's super predictable, which can be good, but man, for anything complex, it becomes a giant tangled web pretty fast. All right, that's enough theory for now. It's time to actually do something. Let's get our hands dirty and build one of these rigid bots right now. We're going to use Telegram for this, and you'll be shocked at how quickly we can get it done. Believe it or not, the whole thing is just 4 simple steps. We're going to find the main bot controller on Telegram, use a command to start a new one, give it a name and username, and then we'll get our special API token. That's it. Ready to go? Okay, step 1. Open up Telegram on your phone or computer, and in the search bar, type in @botfather. Now, you'll see a few results, but you have to pick the official one. It's the one with that little blue check mark next to the name. That's how you know it's the real deal. So once you're in the chat with Botfather, go ahead and hit the Start button. After that, you just type a / and the word NewBot, all one word, and hit Send. This little command is what kicks off the whole creation process. And here comes the fun part. Botfather is going to ask you to pick a name for your bot. Now, this is the friendly public name that everyone will see in the chat header. And don't sweat it too much. You can always change this later. So you could call it Dave's Pizza Bot or My Company's Support, whatever you want. All right, next up is the username. Think of this like its permanent web address on Telegram. And there are a couple of important rules here. First, it has to be totally unique. Second, it can only use English letters. And third, this is the most important part, it absolutely must end with _bot. So something like Dave's Pizza _bot. And bam, success. Botfather will send you a message saying, done, congratulations on your new bot. And right there highlighted is the super long string of letters and numbers. That is your API token. You have to treat this thing like the master key to your house. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Anyone with this token can control your bot, so don't go sharing it around. Okay, so we've just created the bot's body, its shell, but right now, it doesn't have a brain. It can't do anything yet. So now, let's talk about the really cool part, upgrading it. How do we move beyond those rigid scripts? and give our bot a real personality, some actual intelligence. So, this is a big question. Why do AI bots cost money? Well, it's pretty simple actually. You're basically paying to rent a piece of a supercomputer's brain, like the one that powers ChatGPT. Every time a user sends a message, it gets sent to this massive AI model to figure out a smart response, and you pay for that processing power. It's usually measured in something called tokens. You can think of them as tiny pieces of words. The more back and forth you have, the more tokens you use, and the more it costs. And this slide just shows you the night and day difference in how you set them up. On the left, you've got that crazy, complicated flowchart for the rigid bot we talked about. But look at the right. For an AI bot, you don't build a flowchart. You just describe what you want. You give it a personality, a goal, some rules to follow, all in plain English. It's like writing a job description for a new employee instead of programming a robot. And if you're thinking, hey, I'd love to try this out, there are platforms that let you experiment without committing. For instance, ProTalk gives you a 14-day free trial, and another one, called BotMother, lets you build up to 10 test bots completely for free. It's a great way to dip your toes in the water and see how powerful these AI brains can be. And this is what you get at the end of the day. Instead of a clunky bot that can only answer specific questions, you get a bot that can have a genuinely natural and helpful conversation. Look at this example, a coffee shop consultant. The user says they want a latte, and the bot doesn't just stop there. It intelligently asks about flavors, syrups, milk options, just like a real barista would. It's a whole different level of interaction. Okay, so let's bring it all home. What are the key things to remember? Rigid bots are awesome when you want full control over the conversation and you don't want to spend any money. AI bots, on the other hand, are what you need for flexibility and a truly natural conversation. The great news is you can get started right now for free by creating that basic bot on Telegram. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about a single trade-off. Are you choosing control or are you choosing intelligence? And that just about does it. You now have all the pieces you need to go out and create your very own digital assistant. So I'll leave you with one final question to think about. Now that you know how, what's the very first task you would give to your new bot?